Alright, since the last couple of videos have been a bit on the short side, we're going to take a look at two different runs today, both involving Caramel. So Caramel is a perk which was added to the game in the Star Pack revamp. I don't use it all that often, it's kind of awkward, but at the same time it's fun to have access to something like this, which is a bit more unusual, and I don't really think there are any other perks in the game quite like it. So the way it works is it's very similar to Fig and Tomato in that it's a snipe that happens before attack. However, it will always target the highest health opponent, and it will remove other caramels on the team to increase the damage of the snipe. So yeah, I think it is the only perk that has a cumulative effect, and you can do some fun stuff with it, which we're going to explore in these two different runs. So this first one, what I wanted to do was use Tasmanian Devil, which is probably one of my least used jump attack units, in order to set off Caramel at start of battle. And since Danger Pack came out, this has opened the door for quite a lot of different builds that would otherwise have been impossible before. There was one the other week that I did with Amami Rabbit having start of battle Fig. So we're going to do something similar here, but I think the final team is going to look quite different. So yeah, what do we need? I mean, Caramel I think is a tier 3 perk, so we should have access to it by now, but looks like I haven't found one yet. Or maybe I'm not going to buy it until we've got some more units that we actually need. I can put the Caramel on the Chipmunk and then get 3 copies of it very quickly. So that's obviously a big advantage over playing Caramel in Star Pack, is that you can get perks for much reduced cost in customs. I guess in Star Pack you can do it with Cardinal as well. In fact, you can see Cardinal in the shop there, but we're not going to use it for this run. So I actually copy the Humphead Wrasse here with the Venus Flytrap. Still not finding what I'm looking for. But don't worry, we are going to acquire the Caramel sooner or later. And one of the interesting things that we can do with Caramel in this scenario is that we can actually make almost every unit on our team perkless during the battle. They will have perks in shop, but when the battle begins they won't have any. That means we can actually have a team where every single pet has a perk, but we still have Stego on the squad. So here we actually acquire the Stego. So we'll buy, sell the Oyster, and then just bring Stego in. And now we're looking for the Caramel, which we can put onto the Chipmunk. We get 3 copies straight away. And I think I'm going to save one. Originally I wanted to have a team where every pet had Caramel, but the Humphead Wrasse ability is so much weaker when you don't have Churros on it in customs. So I think I'm going to end up keeping the Churros. And here we go, we get the Albatross. So now we can have the Albatross buff the snipe from the Caramel. And then we get another Albatross. So ultimately the goal here was to have this Albatross sandwich with Tasmanian Devil in between. I think it ends up getting messed up in one of these rounds though. Isn't it always the way where you get the combo set up and then the next round it doesn't work? Well, maybe it is going to work in this one. Okay, it does work here, but I think we're going to end up losing because they've got the scaling from the Visitor plus Unicorn setup. A little bit of extra stats onto the Tasmanian Devil. It's only really important that the Taz has higher attack than the Stego. But obviously the higher its attack, the more damage it's going to do to the enemy team. So, and I'm very lucky here to survive the Elephant Blowfish. This combo obviously is not very good, but it is fun to play. And we're going to get level 2 Albatross. So in theory, if they don't have any equipment, the damage can be quite high. Yeah, there we go, 21 damage from the snipe. And of course you can improve that by buffing up the albatrosses to level 3. I don't think I'm going to get it in this run though, because we're too close to the end. And then Behemoth here. Luckily the buff goes to the front unit there. I'm not sure if that actually made a difference. Maybe we would have lost that if that hadn't gone to the Albatross. But we do get level 3 on the Ras. And maybe I should have taken the upgrade on the Tasmanian Devil there. But this is a much weirder team. And the Shark actually gets one shot by the Caramel, which results in the Tasmanian Devil not actually jump attacking, which is kind of odd. I thought that was changed, or maybe I just misunderstood something in that particular interaction. But it does get us onto 9 wins. Okay, I'm going to forgo the chocolate on the Taz in order to try and get the Albatross to level 3. And then, yeah, this is the round I was thinking about, where the eggplant messes us up. Probably should have anticipated that and maybe changed the ordering a bit. But the Rhino is not going to get to snipe, and so we very comfortably win in the end. So fun team, but it would have been better if I had 5 caramel. So here's a clip, I think, of one of the runs where I did actually get 5 caramel. Or maybe I don't, maybe I only get 4. This is another one where we're on 9 wins. Yeah, okay, we're not going to get 5 of them. But we do get 4. And it's Stego versus Stego. And again, I think, does the buff here from the Taz? Yeah, I think the fact that the Taz ended up getting the buff from the Stego worked out perfectly in our favour there. And it was a narrow win. But yeah, it was 1 caramel short. So now we move on to this run from the replay system, which I think this is just a random pack. I think this was probably played on my phone, which is why I don't have an original recording of it. Although sometimes the reason for it being a replay instead of a live recording is because because the file was somehow messed up or I forgot to press record. That does happen from time to time. So here I just don't bother activating the Nudibranch ability. We're probably going to lose anyway. And we get 4 of these ferret presents in the shop. Pretty useless. But yeah, if I didn't say already, this is a blind random pack, so I didn't look at the contents of the pack, but you can't actually tell that when it's a replay. We do get a draw there, which is nice. Now, Ferret did used to have a different set of toys. You used to be able to get the tennis ball from Ferret, but now it's either the balloon or the walnut, so I almost never take walnut. And especially in this scenario, it would have been nice to have the tempo from the snipes, but instead we're just going to end up building up this Nudibranch. And then there's a mandrill, so that will work with the ferret as well. I think this is actually a rare game where I end up keeping multiple tier 1s. I think we had one of those the other day as well. Maybe that's why these particular games are on the bottom of the of the editing list. I don't know. But yeah, since we're looking at 2 different runs in this one, we're making some good progress in clearing the backlog. So here we go. We get the first caramel, and then I actually just pill the mandrill for the buffs. Oh yeah, I forgot about that as well. Ferret was changed so that the balloon now buffs 2 units. So instead of buffing the front unit for +2/2, it's +1/1 to the front 2 units. Yeah, I guess that was to kind of fix some of the issues in Pack 2, where it was all about stacking endless buffs onto one big unit, or at least for a lot of teams. So maybe that makes Ferret more useful in customs, I don't know. Very few people play it. Probably fewer, given that you don't get access to the snipe toy anymore. But we acquire the swordfish and the lynx, and then no surprise we're going to take Gelada in a random pack. I feel like the recent videos I've uploaded haven't had many Gelada transformations in them, which is something that I was becoming acutely aware of that it was in virtually every run. It just is that good. Yeah, and there was a strange interaction with a bit of jump attacking there. The before attack perks definitely do have some weird interactions with them. So we'll buff up the swordfish. It's still level 1, so it's not going to knock itself out, but it won't have much health left after it snipes. I guess it's probably obvious at this point that what we're going to try and do here is acquire 5 caramel. You know, I do buy the pineapple there, but I think that is literally just for survivability. We are still running 2 tier 1s. Although, to be fair, Nude rank is very good. We could be upgrading to something a lot better. Should be alright here. The ants aren't going to have anything to buff. And then we're going to get our level 2 gelada. And hopefully get a good tier 6 out of the deal. Okay, there we go. We get the Puma. So Puma will work with the toy. And here I buy the tomato as well. So maybe at this point I hadn't thought about going for all caramel. I think that's very unlikely. I would imagine almost any time I buy caramel, I'm thinking about going for 5 of the same. It doesn't tend to happen in Star Pack very often, but here we go. We get another caramel. We buy the Puma, immediately give it caramel. Now we just need 3 more to complete the lineup. Although, given that we're winning a lot of rounds here, and the caramel there actually helps us knock out the llama, we're running out of time to find any more. Okay, we're going to go for the level 3, probably not necessary. And there is 1 more caramel. So if we win here, we only have 1 turn, but maybe we're going to end up losing. Yeah, pretty strong looking level 3 weasel team here. They actually have level 3 orca already. Kind of funny sniping the visitor in the backline there. Okay, so we do win. Maybe a bit unexpected against that lineup. And we don't have enough gold to buy the caramel, so I'm just going to assume that I'm going to lose. And it's another T-Rex team. This one's looking a bit stronger, I would say. Yeah, just having the white ochre is a big upgrade. And then they summon the salmon to get the tie. So now we can buy the last... okay, no, we actually need another caramel as well. But look at that, I roll it on the last gold. So we have the full caramel team in the random pack. And then this is a crazy team to face on turn 15. Like, base stat Scorpion, plus they had Spider Crab there as well. Don't see that too often. And there we go, there are 2 runs featuring caramel. An interesting and underappreciated perk, I think.